let me set the stage for you here, okay? It is 2017. This is after the year of Ungoro, Knights of the Frozen Throne, and Kobolds and Catacombs. Maybe the most powerful year of Hearthstone thus far. If you don't remember, Ungoro was the quests, Knights of the Frozen Throne was the Frozen Hero cards that I had you rate. I don't know if you remember those. And then Kobolds and Catacombs was just an absolutely absurd expansion. Very good expansion. The year after was the year of the Raven, which started off with the Witchwood. The Witchwood was a very impactful set for multiple reasons. One, Shudderwalk was introduced. Do you remember Shudderwalk? Two,
Shudderwalk. Yeah. The thingy that lets you cast like cheap versions of the thingy.
He replays every battle cry that you played this game.
That's That's so what I said just now.
Then this is the first time they've introduced the rush mechanic. So before this, rush did not exist in Hearthstone. It did, but like it didn't have its own keyword is the way I'm going to say it, which was obviously very important to Hearthstone because like that added a lot more removal in minion ways and obviously moved the game a little bit faster because now you can react quicker to your opponent. Lastly, they introduced Genn and Baku. I'm going to tell you this right now. Genn and Baku are the only cards ever to be rotated after 1 year. Most of the time, Hearthstone has a 2-year limit. Either they'll nerf a card into oblivion until it rotates or like a card will just stay. Genn and Baku were so toxic to the game for reasons that you'll see soon that they had to rotate it early to basically make sure Hearthstone was fun and healthy for the following year. That's what you're going to be rating today. Today, you're going to tell me which one you think is better. Okay. Now,
Genn or Baku, huh?
Genn and Baku. Which one would you like to start off with?
Baku. Okay. Why not? Let's go.
Before we continue with this video, let me show you something really cool. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are being added to the game. Raid Shadow Legends is partnering with Paramount to bring the most radical, I hated that, most radical crossover yet. They're bringing in all 4 turtles with Leonardo, Michelangelo, Raphael, and of course, Donatello. Plus they're bringing in April as well as Shredder so you can live out your nostalgic fantasies as, you know, using your turtles to fight whatever you want. And the great thing is you get Michelangelo for absolutely free. All you got to do is just log in for 7 days starting from August 21st to unlock this legendary turtle that spreads debuffs, haunts enemies with trash talking because that is the best way of doing it, and of course dodging their attacks because he's a ninja. Plus you could fuse Donatello to get an insanely powerful support, summon Leonardo, Raphael, April, and Shredder through limited time events, and even better, you can challenge Shredder directly in an event dungeon to earn exclusive chronophage gear set. If you collect all 6 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you get a special prize that's even better than pizza. And if you're a brand new player, you can pick from one of these new promo codes, which allows you to get a free legendary of your choice. New players will also receive 2 epic champions by using my link or QR code. You get Tayrel as well as epic Rector Drath. Now's the perfect time to try out Raid Shadow Legends. Thank you so much for Raid for sponsoring this video. Now, back to this video.
Baku, the Moon Eater, is 9 mana crystals for a 7/8 beast. And at the start of game, if your deck has only odd cost cards, upgrade your hero power. Okay, this is a problem. This is what everybody's afraid of. This worm baddie.
I gotta give you more context here because you're in modern Hearthstone, which I've shown you quite a bit. In modern Hearthstone, hero powering is pretty bad. Like you don't really want to be hero powering. In this Hearthstone, hero powering was still considered pretty good, especially if you're a warlock because you got to draw a card. Armoring as warrior felt really great. We've also seen upgraded hero powers before with a card called Justicar Trueheart back in the Grand Tournament. I don't know if I've ever shown you that card before, but it doesn't matter in this case. The bigger thing here is that this is the first time where start of game was very relevant, meaning you got an inherent advantage over your opponent. Remember when we did the keyword thing? That's where you saw Baku. Remember? I showed you it, and you were a ginormous fan.
Yes.
You were you were a ginormous fan of start of game, and your intuition was correct because start of game in this context was extremely good. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what is the upgraded hero power mean? Each individual class, if you followed the prerequisite of Baku, got an upgraded hero power that at the start of the game would make your individual hero power for your class well, depending on the class, better. One of the things you're gonna have to do in this video is kind of ask yourself, is it worth building a deck for this requirement if the hero power was worth it or not? What I have tried to do is for each of the classes is show you a couple cards that you would want to put in your deck in order for you to actually build for the odd cost. If you haven't figured this out yet, Genn is the opposite. It's only even cost cards, but we'll get to Genn shortly.
Okay.
All right. Now, this is a lot of reading. I've tried my absolute hardest. You don't have to tell me if the individual cards are good, okay? Firstly, let's start off with the upgraded hero power.
Dire Shapeshift is hero power +2 attack this turn, +2 armor.
Okay, now the default druid hero power is 2 mana for +1 attack and +1 armor. Now you're asking yourself, is it worth building for druid if you get +1 attack and +1 armor on your hero power? Reminder, hero powers can only be used once per turn, and it's 2 mana like it says at the top there, okay?
Yep.
Here are 5 cards that I think is pretty relevant for this deck, or can be relevant to build for this.
If I'm building Druid Baku, in that time, I'm trying to build with these cards, and I'm supposed to tell you which class is best for Baku? Is that like the goal?
Well, in its own section, yes. You're trying to ask yourself, is it worth actually building for Baku here? You don't have to tell me which class is best, but you should ask yourself, like, after this, is it worth building for Druid? If it's not, then we exit off and we go to the next class. All
right, gotcha. Greedy Sprite is 3 mana for a 3/1 Death Rattle, and you gain an empty mana crystal. Okay. Lesser Jasper Spellstone is 1 mana, deal 2 damage to a minion, and gain 3 armor to upgrade.
The max upgrade would be, so it goes from 2, 4, 6, basically, is the way I should say that.
And is that while it's in your deck or in your hand?
In your hands.
You have to upgrade.
In your hand, sorry, yeah. Good clarification there.
Nourish is 5 mana to choose 1, gain 2 mana crystals, or draw 3 cards. Hello. Let's go.
Hello.
The Biology Project. Each player gains 2 mana crystals. Sure, why not? What a card. And Gonk? Really? Gonk the Raptor?
Yeah. Have I shown you Gonk?
Gonk? It's just Gonk? What was the name of the T-Rex that like people are into with the quest? Was it Crush or something?
King Crush?
Like that was
yeah,
King Crush. That's a kick-ass name. Gonk? Gonk is like the stuff that comes out of your nose in the winter when you're feeling sniffly. That's Gonk. Okay. Anyhow. I'm trying to respect this character. It's hard.
That's fine.
After your hero attacks and kills a minion, it may attack again. Oh, okay. So that's like a weapon thing?
Well, it's related to the hero power, right?
Oh, yeah. Because the hero gains +2 attack.
And obviously there's other ways of buffing your hero powers, but I figured I'd show you that. Okay, based on the cards I've showed you, again, I have to do it like this because I can't show you every deck and then go through every card. That would take 8 million years. So we're doing the best we can to give you like an educated guess here. Do you think it was worth building for Druid?
Think it was worth building for Druid. Nourish seems like a fine card in the right deck that isn't too far behind at the stage in the game that you would cast it. I love the flexibility, but it doesn't jump out as like the greatest card in the game. This is a card. It's a fine card. Biology Project has a downside. I have noticed that.
What's the downside?
Picking up. Oh, see, it says each player, not you. So,
that's fair.
Like your opponent might just like punt, and they get to use them first, right? That doesn't say empty, does it?
Yeah, you get to use the mana crystals first on your turn.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, your opponent would also get the 2 mana crystals. But
that does make this better. It's kind of wild to me to think that after playing a little bit of current Hearthstone, that you can spend 7 mana on Gonk the Raptor and then still have 2 mana to attack with your hero and attack again, and that's a turn. Even with the upgraded hero power, for me right now, from what I've seen of your disgusting game, like that just sounds, it sounds so bad.
Yeah, we're not going to comment on Gonk here. Right? No Gonk slander for this video.
Shouldn't this be like a 3 mana card? Like, what are we doing? I'm sorry. I like Greedy Sprite. Greedy Sprite's kind of cool.
Okay.
I want to see more. I've got to tell you, this looks like a meaty. This looks kind of uninspiring to me at this point. This doesn't look like winning the way I'm used to in Druid, you know?
Okay, so
I want some power.
You already know that Baku and Genn were rotated early. So you can do this by an individual class basis for each one. And then you can tell me which one you thought was better overall between Baku and Genn. So I'm guessing you're leaning to the fact that Druid was not a playable deck for odd Druid.
Well, when you say it like that, I might sound stupid later by agreeing with you, but yes.
Okay, I will just tell you if you're correct or not as we continue going through this video rather than waiting to the very end, okay?
Okay.
You are correct. Odd Druid was not good enough to get played. Okay. You're losing Innervate. You're losing Wild Growth at this point. You would rather just do better stuff in Druid that does not cater to the odd package whatsoever. So you are absolutely right. This one was not very good. Okay.
Yes.
We'll go to the next one.
I still got it, baby.
Okay.
I still got it. Ballista Shot, hero power, deal 3 damage to the enemy hero.
So reminder, Hunter hero power is 2 damage for 2 mana. So once again, you're going through the thought of, am I putting Baku into my deck to make my hero power 1 damage better?
Let's see how much face damage they do. I'm sure that's part of the factor. Candle Shot. I remember this card.
Yes.
Your hero is immune while attacking. You said this card was good.
It was very good. I will stay with that.
Yeah.
I think every card I'm showing you for the record, for the most part, is pretty good or related.
Kill Command. You're not showing me absolute shit for the video about cards that got played in deck. Let's go. I love this. Kill Command, 3 mana, deal 3 damage. If you control a beast, deal 5 instead. Okay, but it is to any target.
It is to any target.
That's kind of solid. That's some face hunter right there. That's a thing. I know that's a thing. Unleash the Hounds is 3 mana for each enemy minion. Summon a 1/1 hound with charge. Poggies.
Okay.
What? Dude. So they have a full board and you're like, yes. Unleash the Hounds.
That card,
and there you go,
was extremely good.
I believe you. I have a complaint.
Sure.
The Hound, not only does the art not feature hounds, it features 1 hound. It is still on a leash.
So the reason for that is because Unleash the Hounds used to do something entirely different. This was after a lot of balance changes, because the original effect for this card was, hold on, let me pull it up.
We need to hold the dev team accountable, and they need to commission new art when they change a card's function. I'm dying on that hill.
Listen to this shit. Ready for this?
Okay.
In alpha, it used to read, give your beast +1 attack in charge.
But what?
Oh, sorry. It used to say, give your beast +1/+1 in charge. And it also was
3?
I think it was 1 mana. Yeah, it was 1 mana. Yeah, 1 mana.
1 mana. Wait, 1 mana?
Yeah, that's what it used to say.
Wait, isn't that fucked up?
Yes, it was very fucked up. So they had to change it.
What was it called? Leash the Hounds? I don't understand.
I think it was still called Unleash the Hounds. They never changed the name of it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, very good.
Woo. Okay, they wanted some charge in their game and they got some. Got it. Nice. I'm going to read Animal Companion. That seems nice. That seems like a nice card. It's 3 mana to summon a random beast companion. Is a beast companion a special type?
No, it's just 1 out of 3 beasts you can get. I've shown you them before, but reminder, there's Leok, which is a 2/4. They're all 3 mana. So it's a 2/4 that gives all your beasts +1 attack. Misha is a 4/4 with taunt, and Huffer is a 4/2 with charge.
They're decent rate beasts, is what you're saying.
I would say, depending on when you're asking this, they were actually probably above average. That's why there was like the randomness there. Like a 3 mana 4/2 beast was fucking crazy and classic with charge.
I gotta take these sunglasses off. My head is starting to hurt. Okay. All right. Stitch Tracker is 3 mana for a 2/2 undead. Battle Cry. Discover a copy of a minion in your deck. Okay. Little value. It's got a little value. The Battle Cry is to discover a copy of a minion in your deck. What if you only have like 1 other minion? Well, that's not very good with a beast deck, but actually you haven't shown me. I guess Candle Shot, is that a minion? No, that's like a weapon.
I didn't show you any minions.
You didn't show me any minions. So can you build your deck in a way that, well, you have to run Baku, right?
You have to run Baku, and Baku is a beast.
That kind of, that's not great. You don't want to discover a Baku.
Well, as long as you have 2 other minions besides Baku, you're guaranteed to see whatever minion you want to see.
Oh, that's right. That's how Discover works. It's 1, 2, 3.
Again, I am trying to show you cards that I think were good and or relevant for what you're doing.
Yeah, I can see how this would have like a very specific, you can build your deck around this one card and almost get it all the time because you have the copies of it and you have the copies of Tracker. So it's a consistency piece if you want to build around one card, but it's also just good. Like, I'm trying to figure out if you are running these cards, does it make your hero power, like the upgrade to your hero power, worth it? That's my job here. I don't see that. Like,
oh, okay.
I can see that there's a good amount of going face. There's plenty of face damage. So then you're saying if there's enough face damage, I bet it's really frustrating actually with a hero power that deals 3 damage to play around Unleash the Hound specifically. because now like you can't like develop your board too much.
Unleash Downs is a disgusting card. That was a very good card.
Yeah. If you build a wide board, you get hounded in the face. But if you're not building a wide board, your opponent has the time to just pop you for 3 and pop you for 3 and pop you for 3.
Yep.
That's gotta be a very frustrating thing. And gosh, it's only 3 mana, so like it's not like it's your whole turn either. So if you have a Savage Roar type thing, the opponent is so dead.
You would be shocked.
Sorry. I'm still playing Hearthstone in 2012. What can I say? This looks better to me than Druid.
Okay.
I still am hoping to find something better than that because I don't like burn very much as a player.
Okay.
But I can see it. Like I can see the Unleash the Hounds kind of vice. Yeah. It's like a vice that you're putting your opponent in where if they develop a wide board, they're going to take a ton and you're going to have a lot. And if they don't develop a wide board, you're just going to sit back and like develop slowly and keep shooting them for 3. So this is bothering me a little. It's bothering me a little.
To sum it up, you think it's worth to build Hunter for Baku because of the hero power?
More than Druid. Of the 2 I've seen, more than Druid.
Okay.
I can see how this could be good.
I will tell you right now that Odd Hunter was one of the best decks in that entire year.
Okay.
I didn't show you like Leopard Gnome, for example, which was still playable in the game. To get an extra 2 damage off the death rattle. The way you could look at it is like 2 ballista shots is equal to 3 hero powers from the regular Hunter, which actually kind of matters because it could be the turn difference because you only use it once per turn. There is so much aggression and so many tools that Hunter could use to get you super low that the hero power could just be the reason why you lost. And it was a constant like pressure. It was inevitability. It was just a really solid deck, and Hunter has always been really good about going face, and they had the perfect tools for it. All right, next up is Mage.
Let's go Mage. Fire Blast rank 2. Great. I love it. The hero power is 2 damage. Any target, just 2 mana, 2 damage.
Yep. So reminder,
Sweet.
Mage's hero power is this 2 mana deal 1 to anything. This is 2 mana deal 2.
In a control player's deck, that's a win con.
Okay.
Just go with it. Just go with it. Just go with it.
Also was one of the only classes that got support for Baku, and you'll see what I mean in a quick second with the Black Cat.
Black Cat is 3 mana for a 3/3 beast. Spell damage +1. Battle Cry. If your deck has only odd cost cards, draw a card. Oh, yep. Yeah, nice card. Love it. Good card.
And
let's go.
Before you even say it, when Baku and Genn were rotated out, all of these cards were rotated out.
Oh, that's nice of them to not just sit there and taunt you.
Yes.
That's
and
good. That's
because they rotated out, by the way, the following year we got like some extra cards because of that reason, because they wanted to fill up the empty slots. But yeah, sorry, continue going.
Astromancer is 7 mana for a 5/5 battle cry. Summon a random minion with cost equal to your hand size. Summon a random minion with cost equal to your hand size.
So if you have like 7 cards in hand, you get a random 7 mana card.
That's kind of wild. That's pretty cool. At random just is from everywhere, right?
Yeah,
from all of Hearthstone?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, not just from your deck.
Okay. All right. Flame Strike is 7 for 5 damage to all enemy minions. Let's go.
Sorry,
them up.
I will have to add that was 4 damage because I was too lazy to get the actual like what it was at the time. It was 4 damage, not 5.
This is Flame Strike now.
Yeah,
they're trying to keep your 7 mana one-sided board wipe relevant. That's funny. Yep. Okay, let's go. Dragon's Fury is 5 mana to reveal a spell from your deck and deal damage equal to its cost to all minions. Minions are not spells. Just checking in with everybody, making sure we're still good on that. So I need a big spell. Anybody got a big spell for me? And it says reveal it from your deck. Is that random?
Yeah, it will randomly pick a spell in your deck.
Dragon Caller Alana is 9 mana for a 3/3. The battle cry, summon a 5/5 dragon for each spell you cast this game that costs 5 or more. Is that referencing the spells that you cast?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Each spell you cast this game that costs 5 or more, summon a 5/5. Minions are not spells. Let's see if we can put it together, shall we? I mean, the cat's just a good card. Like, I'm pretty sure on turn 3, all you want is a 3/3 that draws a card and interacts with something else.
Yeah.
That's great.
I would agree with that.
That's great. What more do you want in life? A combo kill? Shut up. Go play a different game. Go play Yu-Gi-Oh! Flame Strike is Flame Strike.
That is true.
I guess it can deal after they unleash the hounds and you already took all your damage. Must be nice. What a good vibe.
Put some respect on Flame Strike's name, okay? It was actually a good card for a while.
I mean, you're right, but I'm just marveling at the ability to pay 7 mana to deal 5 damage to all these things that were created for 3 mana and already hit you.
At least the Hound is just a broken card.
Okay. Sorry, I'm analyzing a format here. Okay,
that's fine. That is fine. You have a full year here to look at, so I don't blame
Dragon's Fury is interesting, though. Dragon's Fury is interesting. So the Black Cat is my favorite thing by far. Okay. The fact that you battle cry, make a bunch of dragons seems very Hearthstone to me, but not inherently broken Hearthstone to me. That just seems like, and this might be the new, like, that might be modern Hearthstone getting in my brain. It felt like every turn you just made a board of, holy shit, what the hell happened? How do I handle this? Every turn. So I feel like everybody casts Dragon Caller Alana every turn in your game right now. So it doesn't impress me as much. And Astromancer has that RNG vibe. But honestly, like, I still think the cat is the good part. Okay. And maybe they printed this because it's not, maybe it needed the help. And also, this doesn't play as well with the hero power, the other 4 cards other than the cat, as much. So I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. You're not impressed.
Mage. You don't like mage.
Not yet.
Okay,
not right
so
now, no.
I think based on so you're going with mage isn't good. Middle of the pack.
The Black Cat alone is better than druid, but the rest of it, no.
Okay, so I'll kind of give you what mage is doing. You're entirely right. If you want to make like a list here, druid is near the bottom. Absolutely. Mage was better than druid. Mage was actually played after Rostakon's Rumble came out. That's the same expansion as Gonk because they kind of put a lot of cards that utilized your hero power. For example, there was a card that said like your hero power hits adjacent minions as well. Like that was kind of where mage kind of got a little better. And because of a card called Genn, which I did not show you here, I didn't want to give you the whole package. Genn says for each damage your hero power is done. Sorry, if you've done 8 damage with your hero power this game, summon Ragnaros, and that's for 7 mana. So that, that's a pretty decent way of doing it. Mage, but it was not good until Rostakon's Rumble though. Mage was taking like, you were trying to go for like a slow control oriented mage, but it kind of needed that Rostakon's Rumble, like I'm gonna call it upgrade, even though Rastakhan wasn't very good, to finally actually see a decent amount of play. But you were going for like a slow control mage. It wasn't like aggressive whatsoever. On to the next one. Okay, your next one's Paladin.
Oh yeah, I love Paladin so much. The Silver Hand. Hero power is 2 1/1s. Nice.
Okay.
I'm guessing it was a 1/1 before.
Yep. Exactly.
Yep. So we're going wide. How do we make things hit harder? Well, for 3 mana, we have Aldor Peacekeeper, Battlecry, change an enemy minion's attack to 1, and it's a 3/3. Okay, all right. Yeah. Give a little nerf to your opponent. Cool. Very nice. I love how their version of peace is you suck at attacking, but I'm still good. That's peace.
Hey, that's
peace in our time.
Gotta do what you gotta do. I don't know. Like, that seems pretty good.
Sword of Justice. Yeah. Sword of Justice. 3 mana, 1/5. Interesting. After you summon a minion, give it +1/+1, and this loses 1 durability. Okay, so would this lose 2 durability when you use your hero power?
Yep. Yeah, I would.
Okay, just making sure I understand the rules there. It would be a nice little way to cheat at the game. Lost in the Jungle is 1 mana to summon 2 1/1 Silver Hand recruits. Okay, we're doing it again. Wait, for 1 mana you get 2 1/1s? Yeah. Just straight up?
But that's not a consistent effect that you can use every turn if you're comparing it just to the hero power. But yeah.
I know, but it's still like that's a raid in your game. Like we don't have those. We don't have that card in Magic.
At this point, what's the best 1-drop? The best 1-drop is probably Dire Mole, which is a 1 mana 1/3 beast. So that's where we were at.
Okay.
I think.
The Righteous Protector is 1 mana for a 1/1 taunt Divine Shieldy. Okay, you got a lot of little dorks here. I get what's going on. Oh, let's read it. Level up. Give your Silver Hand recruits +2/+2 and taunt. Now, it specifically says Silver Hand recruits. Does that count with the hero power? Because it says the Silver Hand, but then it says summon 2 recruits.
They summon 2. Each one is a Silver Hand recruit.
Okay. Yes. In Magic, that might be like, it's a soldier, but it's not a human soldier, Mr. Magician, and that would be a problem. Okay. Generally speaking, make a bunch of dorks and make them huge is good. It transcends most card games and most formats, that if you can consistently go wide and buff them, you can win games in some form. People are always working on a deck like this. How to compare this to others? I mean, you showed me Flame Strike from Mage. That's even funnier now looking at this and how wide and how powerful it can be so quickly. The curve is also really good for this too, because it's like, oh my gosh. So you play a 1 mana card. On 2, you make 2 dorks. On 3, it's like you either have your 3-drop or you're like 1/1/1, or you're like another 1 and use the hero power again. Like you're probably consistently at like 5 creatures on turn 3 if you want to be. And then you got, oh yeah, I bet curving out with this is fun. I bet it's a lot of fun. Yeah, okay. I bet this deck was popular. Was it good?
Okay.
I think it's better than Druid, and I will continue to say that.
You can keep saying it.
Yeah. Is it on Hunter's level? I'm sure it tried, but Hunter has unleashed the fucking hounds. Oh my god.
Unleash the hounds.
What a time those 2 decks probably had. I'm gonna say this deck was good.
All right, you would be correct. Odd Paladin was one of the best ones by far. It was probably, oh god, it's been so long, but I can't remember if it was better than Hunter or on par with it, but it was definitely on like a really high power level. The curve you said is exactly correct. Like if you go Lost in the Jungle into your hero power, into some kind of buff and or just more dudes, like decks did not have a consistent way of answering this. You have to swap tempo, and it was kind of hard against this deck. But if you couldn't answer a board, like that level up was just game ending. Like you could not talk to the paladin for the rest of the game. And even with like it was ridiculous how strong it could be. Now I'm not gonna say it was unbeatable, because you're gonna see other classes that have potential to actually answer this. But depending on the curve of the paladin, it felt like it was unbeatable. Next is Priest. There's the hero power.
The heal. Restore 4 health?
So originally it's 2, now it's at 4.
Oh
yes,
my god, they didn't just buff it 1, they doubled. They doubled it up. Oh.
And here are the relevant cards, I think.
Okay.
There's obviously more, but
Power Sword, Shield. Power Word Shield.
Power Sword Shield.
Sorry, it was so weird. All right, 1 mana, give a minion +2 health and draw. Nice. That's the thing you can do. All right, Northshire Cleric. 1 for a 1/3. Whenever a minion is healed, draw a card. Okay. Jesus. Okay. Let's go. This card is something. Let's see some other great ways to get paid for healing. The Crystalline Oracle is 1 mana for a 1/2 Death Rattle. Copy a card from your opponent's deck and add it to your hand. I mean, all we ever want in life is a 1 mana card that like gets you something when it enters or dies. That's all the world needs in Hearthstone.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, cards like these, I've played some of them in Alchemy, in Magic, and like every now and then you kind of break your own deck with something that you couldn't put in it otherwise, when you just kind of cheat colors, or in this case classes. Obsidian Statue, 9 mana for a 4/8 taunt, lifesteal, death rattle, destroy a random enemy minion. I mean, that's just a good old ball of fuck you, isn't it? Okay, the Tortola of its time. Let's go. Psychic Scream, 7 mana shadow, shuffle all minions into your opponent's deck. Okay, you showed me this one before. I remember talking about this card. Yep. Good card.
Very good card.
Good card. Yes, I love this. Okay, so we're playing control. We're getting card advantage just for, dude, 4 is a lot. Like that's a lot. That's one way to offset a 3 to face from the hunter power, isn't it? Holy cow.
It is a way to answer, yes.
And 4 health, that includes you. Like I'm not thinking of this wrong. You can heal minions, but you can also heal yourself. So
you can heal whatever you want. Yes.
If you have out the Obsidian Statue and they don't want to kill it because they don't want to lose their minion, but it gets worn down either from attacking or they attack into it because it has taunt and it gains life and it has that 8 freaking health, and now you just put 4 health right back into it. Like if we were fighting for a board, like we lost, good job. Oh my god. The problem with healing is that it is still healing, and as much as I like life gain, as much as it's absolutely wonderful to just have it available when it's most relevant, it's still just it's okay. I like that with the cleric. It's probably drawing you a card every time you play your cleric, so at least there's a way to get some card advantage out of it. Crystalline Oracle is just fine. It's statue's really expensive, but I can see it being a pain. This looks fine to me, but it doesn't look broken. It doesn't look like a broken control deck. It doesn't. I also don't see like winning. It might be hard for it, which is, I know that in control decks almost anything can win usually, but in Hearthstone it's a little different because they never just flood out on lands like they do in Magic. This doesn't look great. I'm not putting this with Paladin and Hunter. Okay. It might be better than Mage. I'm not sure.
Okay, so you're going with like it was fine?
Yeah, it's in my fine tier. I've got my shit tier of Druid. I've got my fine tier of Mage in this, and then I've got Paladin and Hunter, which seem very good.
Okay, I would say Priest was near Druid. For odd
that
Priest.
Bad.
Priest. Okay,
that
so
bad.
Here's the thing about Priest. You're right. It's healing. Healing is good, but it doesn't actually help with tempo. Some of the time, depends what the deck is. And honestly, 4 health is great in very particular matchups, but like you said, it didn't really have a great win condition. That's kind of what it was lacking. If you remember from the Death Knight video, a really long time ago, I showed you Shadow Reaper Anduin, which was the hero card that did 2 damage, and every time you played a card to refresh the hero power, that's even, because it was 8 mana. So going Odd Priest was kind of a big ask, and it never really paid off, unfortunately, due to that reason. Yeah, it was just not very good, unfortunately, for Priest.
Rip Psychic Scream, too bad.
Rip Psychic Scream, goated. Don't sleep on that card, but yeah, the rest of these are kind of whatever.
Poisoned Daggers is a hero power that equips a 2/2 weapon. Yo. We're rogue. Yeah.
The rogue one originally is just a 1/2 weapon. So having the extra point of damage over the course of 2 turns for 2 mana is maybe somewhat relevant. Here are some cards I think were very good for this. I'm actually going to get you one different card here while you're reading the rest of them.
I remember Blink Fox. Sweet card. Love this card. Deadly Poison. Give your weapon +2 attack for 1. So now you're swinging for 4. Vile Spine Slayer. 5 mana combo, destroy a minion. Okay, so do one other thing and this kills something. Unstoppable Element. Draw the rest of your deck. Oh, I remember this. I remember this card. I remember this card. Come on.
Good card.
Okay. Oh my God. The client explodes. Hench Clan Thug. 3 mana, 3/3 Quillbore. After your hero attacks, give this +1/+1. It's fine. Yeah, you can equip this for 2, exactly. And then you play this and you swing, and this is a 4/4. And if they don't answer that after getting 2/2 weapon punched, then the next turn it can get even bigger. That's probably a pain in the ass. I know, I say the obvious. I'm very helpful. I mean, that card gives me like, I'm getting rate kind of vibes of, okay, maybe that's a really good rate. How good does that make a deck? Sometimes you look at a curve and you're like, that's a really good curve. Does that make a deck? I mean, this aggressive rogue build is pretty cool. It's kind of going tall, not wide, but that's good against Unleash the Hounds. And yeah, the unstable element just strikes me as busted. I can't rate this low. Like, I think it's better than Mage.
Okay. So you're going with it was...
better than Mage. I don't have it as good as Paladin.
Not as good as Paladin, but better than Mage.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that is probably around where I would put Rogue. I would say Rogue did hit Legend #1 quite a bit, though. So it was a lot of the time in the metagame one of the best decks to play. The other card I did not show you in this was Fan of Knives. Fan of Knives was 3 mana, deal 1 damage to every enemy minion and draw a card. So I didn't put that in because I thought that might have been like, oh, like too obvious. This card was this was very good. The thing about Odd Rogue was like, if you compare it to Mage, you have to spend 2 mana to deal 2 damage to anything, and you're obviously not going to probably damage your own stuff. Rogue is the same thing, but you get to skip the next turn and also do the 2 damage. But then it also works with any weapon buffs and or how it attacks with the Henge Clan Thug. Henge Clan Thug on curve was actually a really good thing for this deck because it became kind of annoying, because then you also could fight for the board with your weapon. Odd Rogue could be considered like the best odd deck out of all of them. It could be, depending on who you ask. Very, very good.
It's up there. Like, we have 3 really good decks now. Got it.
All right. Next is Shaman.
Totemic Slam. Let's go. Summon a totem of your choice. Okay. Well,
right.
How is this different from normal?
The regular Shaman
summoning?
hero power is summon a random totem.
Oh.
So I'll go through the totems for you. There's the 1/1, 1/1 with no keywords is just a 1/1. There is Healing Totem, which is a 0 mana 2 at the end of your turn. 0/2 at the end of your turn, restore 1 health to all minions. All friendly minions, sorry. Spell Power Totem, which is just +1 spell power. And Taunt Totem, which is a 0/2 taunt.
Okay.
Here's 5 cards. So you can see like picking the totem might be extremely relevant.
Mana Tide Totem is 3 mana for an 0/3 at the end of your turn. Draw a card. Nice. Let's go.
Nice.
Seems good. Keep that alive. 1 mana, deal 3 damage. Overload is 1. Overload
is the mana crystal's locked the following turn. So you're basically getting 1 extra mana and then it's locked the following turn.
I love that Lightning Bolt is literally Lightning Bolt from Magic the Gathering. 1 mana, 3 damage with a downside.
There it is.
That's funny.
There's a lot of inspiration.
Unstable Evolution, 1 mana, Echo. Transform a friendly minion into one that costs 1 more.
Echo is, it stays in your hand until the end of turn. So you can keep on replaying it. Basically, you can play it 10 times.
Stays in your hand. Oh, what?
Until the end of your turn. So theoretically, if you had a minion on board, you had 10 mana, you could play the card 10 times. Not that you should. Minute. What's up?
Wait, but like, does that mean like you attack with your 3 and then you transform it into some, if it has Rush or Storm, or I guess not. You attack with your 3, you turn it into something else. If that has like Rush or Charge, you attack and then you play this again and you do. What?
Yeah.
Is that fine?
You tell me.
Okay. It doesn't seem fine. That seems messed up. We have a card called Birthing Pod in Magic that was like banned in modern, like old formats. And it didn't let you do this multiple times a turn. It just let you do this once a turn.
Okay.
What? Okay. Healing Rain is 3 mana, restore 12 health. I remember this card. Oh yeah, Shuddy. I remember Shuddy. I totally remember Shuddy. I don't know if you need to Baku though. Is having the choice of totem better than the random totem that much better?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Because I don't know. It's kind of wild. I don't know. I'm not vibing with it. It's kind of all over the place. Like these are all good cards, but they don't play into the hero power as much, which tells me maybe you're better off just not Baku or I haven't seen Genn, but maybe you're just better off doing neither, you know? Maybe you can build a better deck without them.
Okay.
So I'm not that impressed with Shaman, I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to put it, is it better than Mage? I think the cards are better than Mage. So yeah, I'm going to put it better than Mage, but I'm not going to put it by Druid.
Okay, so you think the hero power is just not worth going for, and therefore you don't think it's very good?
Might be better, yeah, you might just be better off having some even and odd cards in your deck. What a stupid thought during the time, I
bet. You would be absolutely correct. Shaman is probably on the level of Priest. Very, in theory, it could be really good. And I think contextual, if this was the base Shaman hero power, I think it would make the class infinitely better. But to build your whole deck with it is not worth it. On top of that, I showed you Shudderwalk for a very specific reason. Shudderwalk was the deck you're playing for Shaman, other than maybe potentially one other one, which maybe you'll see later. Shudderwalk was the king. That is the deck you're playing for Shaman the entire year, because how good Shudderwalk really was. And you did not need to go through the hoop of Baku. There was no reason if my win condition is Shudderwalk. You're right. All right. This one may blow your mind. This is a warlock.
Let's go. Is it? Wait, what? Soul tap. It's just 2 mana draw a card instead of 2 mana lose 2 life draw a card.
Yep.
That's it. That's the whole thing.
That's it. Now, before I even get to this, okay, before I could show you cards. Do you think it was worth putting Baku into your deck if this was your hero power?
No.
Okay, good answer. I'm not even going to show you cards for this. There was no reason to do this. There was no reason to do this. Some might argue actually that it is actually worse to get rid of the 2 damage to yourself, considering what Warlock wants to do. I figured I would just
cards like that. Yeah. Let's go.
I'm just gonna save you the opportunity of just reading all those cards for no point to get to the conclusion that it's not worth him playing Baku for it. Okay.
I mean, to be fair, what were they gonna do? Draw 2 cards?
No. So you're actually right though. How were they gonna make a buff? Drawing 2 cards for 2 mana might have been too good. Too good.
Oh my god. God.
Maybe they could have done draw 2 cards for 4 health. Maybe that could have been one of those.
Maybe.
But anyways, regardless, good call. Thank you for letting me skip that for you. Here's Warrior.
Tank up. gain 4 armor instead of 2 armor. Yep. And I've seen how warrior uses armor. Seems good. Seems like a thing you want. And maybe not as good as other things, but let's see the cards.
Here are your 5 cards. I think are very relevant.
1 mana draws you a rush minion from your deck. All you want for 1 mana, a low body and a low value. Hell yeah. A Darius Crowley is 5 mana for a 4/5 rush. After this attacks and kills a minion, gain +2/+2. Okay.
It was a 4/4 by the way during its time, but same deal.
Like 5 mana, 6/6, pretty solid. Of course, probably has some lower health because it rushed, but killed something. Brawl, we like. We always win at Brawl. Shield Slam, love this card. Great card. Reckless Flurry. Spend all your armor, deal that much. Yep, okay. Yep, Control Warrior still here. I don't know how it wins, but it probably doesn't die quickly. It can definitely deal with larger things. I like the way that armor plays with kind of being unlimited health and a resource when it comes to things like Reckless Flurry and Shield Slam. Those are pretty good cards.
Okay.
Let's see. How do I compare it to like Rogue or Paladin? I like that offsets the Hunter face damage. I'm still not sure how... Yeah, I don't see the power of the deck, but I'm sure there's something. Just some big meatball is going to do the job.
Okay. So you're saying that you think this deck is good?
I think it is better to have armor than healing in this game. I think this is a bit better than Priest because of that, because you guys can use armor in like different ways. It's a different kind of resource, right? So yes, I think it is good. I do like it better than Mage.
Like it better than Mage, but you're not putting it up with like Rogue and the rest of the gang.
No, I don't think. Not without seeing different cards. Seeing these cards, I'm still getting a very mid power, not a great power. So yeah, I don't think it's on that level.
Okay, so contextually, obviously, I'm only showing you 5 cards from the deck. This was a tier 1 deck. 4 armor is like we talked about Priest, how like, you're only restoring life, and you made that very obvious. How like that's not as good as armor. You're entirely right. 4 armor is disgusting. Justicar Trueheart, a card that I mentioned way early on, was literally only ran in Control Warrior because getting 4 armor versus 2 every single turn was disgusting. For context here, Shield Block, which is a card that was ran, was 3 mana, gain 5 armor, draw a card. So for 1 less mana, you're not drawing the card, but you're basically getting the exact same amount of armor. You're doing that every single turn. So the win condition for Warrior was not dying. And because fatigue was relevant in the game at this point in time. It was just, bitch, come at me, you're not killing me. Like, that's what it was. And that ended up being a really good strategy, even though it wasn't like maybe the best deck in the game always at some points. As more cards came out during this year, especially with the Boomsday when Ziliax came out, you remember Ziliax, the card that had like every keyword, that was really relevant. They got a Dr. Boom hero card, which was great. That would help you from the mid game to the late game with your hero power. Just any point in time, having Shield Slam be 4 damage rather than 2 was massive. So Warrior ended up being really, really good. And you didn't really care about drawing Baku in this. Obviously, you wanted a different card, but it's not like you're an aggro deck, just like drawing a dead card, because you were okay with just hero powering every single turn if you had the opportunity to. So yeah, that is Baku. Obviously, you could tell that some of these classes were insane. Others just fell through and were absolutely pointless. What do you think of Baku so far? Good card?
Baku seems like it should probably be rotated early, Rarran. That's my read on this. It's probably not okay. I bet people got really tired of looking at half the cards in the game and not even considering them for classes that they would otherwise play in.
Don't worry about that, because then we go to the other side. Wow, look at that. The designers of Hearthstone are foolproof. They released Genn, which was the other side of the coin here. Well, why don't you read what Genn does?
Genn Greymane looks like an absolute unit. Is this a pirate wolf? Like, it's this gun? It's a worgen. Worgens are like humans that turn into like werewolves. It's like Warcraft's version of it. Sure. Amazing. Love it. 6 mana, 6/5 at the start of the game. If your deck has only even cost cards, your starting hero power costs 1.
Okay, you said that like it's not good.
I am very aware this is good. I am stunned that they went through all these upgraded hero powers for one of them, and then the other one was like, it costs half as much to get what you already have been getting for years and know how to like maximize and use. Now it only costs 1. That's what blows my fucking mind.
So this is where it starts to get really interesting here, because then you have to ask yourself, is it really worth cutting cards to just have a 1-cost hero power? Now, some of these classes, yes, other classes, no. Let's start off with, we're just going to go through every single class again. You've already seen this hero power. We talked about it already, so you don't have to read it if you don't want to, but imagine every single hero power now is 1. Here are the cards that Druid had.
Wild Growth. Seems good. Good card. Wrath, deal 3 damage to a minion or 1 damage and draw a card. Oh, nice. Okay. I like that. Innervate is 0. Yeah.
It is 0. And it was relevant.
This was still in your game. They never figured it out. I swear to God. Spreading Plague is summon a 1/5 scarab with taunt. If your opponent has cast more minions, cast this again. Oh, it just does that until the plague is completely spread?
It will do it until you have the same amount of minions as your opponent. Yeah, but basically you could look at it as just a wall of 1/5s.
I love this. That's great. I know which druid deck we're running. It wasn't much of a competition, but I know which one we are in fact using. Oaken summons, gain 6 armor, summon a minion from your deck that costs 4 or less. Okay. There's probably a way to like set that up for a lot of good success. I mean, yeah, that seems pretty good.
Do you think Genn was worth running in Druid for a 1-cost shapeshift without seeing every card in the deck?
I don't know. I don't know how important the shapeshift is to your strategy. Okay. I know the cards I am looking at for Druid are way better than the cards you showed me for Baku, and therefore, if you're gonna play Druid, you're gonna play these. And I think Spreading Plague, like some of these are ramp spells, of course they're good. Spreading Plague is like, okay, we have something when they unleash the hounds. We have something when Paladin goes wide. We are finally playing a similar game plan to our opponents. So I have a feeling this is the Druid deck that got played.
So you think even Druid was played?
Yeah. If you're going to play Druid, I think you're playing this one.
So there's also the option of not playing either Genn or Baku here. You could just play Druid with their own cards and do something else.
With all the above?
With all the above. That was the other option, right? It's not just only Genn and Baku here. You could do whatever you want.
Okay, so I've got my Druid card pool, and I'm choosing if I'm Genning, Bakuing, or neither. Now I'm looking at Gonk again.
Gonk, my ghost.
Shit, dude, I'm probably doing neither. You gotta have Gonk, and you've gotta have... I don't know. You gotta ramp into the Gonk so the Gonk isn't too slow. It's important.
Okay.
I don't know, dude. These cards look so much better. I'm gonna go with Genn. You're gonna
say you're playing Genn over just because you already know Baku's bad, so you're gonna play Genn over just doing something entirely different.
Yep.
You'd be incorrect. They didn't see any play.
Just none.
Shapeshift.
Just kill it.
Like you said it actually. Like, what am I running this for? Like, why do I care about a 1-cost shapeshift? Druid was doing much more disgusting things during this year, and it's funny because people would argue that the Witchwood expansion for Druid was probably the worst one it's ever received. It's like they intentionally made it bad because Druid has been dominating the game for the entire time at this point, so they had to kind of make it a little bit worse.
It's the only thing you can do. If you're gonna keep wild growth, and you're gonna keep innervate, and they're allowed to run these cards, you just have to make everything else suck.
Yeah, so they tried. Druid still ended up being really good. So unfortunately for them, they had like Malagos Druid, they had Togwaggle Druid, which was super fun. I'm not going to go into the semantics of what these decks are, but Druid was completely playable, just not with Genn or Baku. It was one of the few classes I did not want to use it for either one of them.
Damn it, I should have gone with that. All
right, it's fine. That's fine.
You got to have Gonk. You got to have Gonk and Wild Growth. That's how you do it.
Okay, steady shot for 1.
1 mana for 2 damage to the enemy hero. Nice. When your hero is attacked, deal 2 damage to all enemies. This is Explosive Trap. We finally have a secret in the game. How about that? Crackling Razor Maw. 2 mana for a 3/2 battle cry. Adapt a friendly beast. Do I need to know what? I'm trying to remember what adapt is.
Adapt was we saw it actually in the Rarran Rumble, so I was hoping you can remember what it is. It's basically just you pick a beast and it gets a keyword. It's like +3 attack, +1/+1, death model summon 2 1/1s, elusive, not charge, rush, or life steal, just think of it like that. But anything else?
I've got it. I remember. It's all coming back.
Okay. Okay.
6 mana for a 5 armor Deathstalker Rexar.
That is the Death Knight. So Deathstalker Rexar with the hero power said 2 mana craft the zombies, which is basically just crafting You pick 2 random beasts that are less than 10 mana in total mana cost, and you add that card to your hand. You combine them together. It was basically used in this because A, it did 2 damage to all enemy minions, but it also gave you a lot of value later in the game if you needed it.
Okay, sure. Value. We like that. Katharina Winterwisp, 8 mana, 6/6 death, battle cry, and death rattle. Recruit a beast. Recruit was go on the battlefield.
Recruit, yeah. Pull a random minion from your deck.
Okay. Zul'jin is 10 mana for, again, what do you call these? Heroes?
Heroes, yep.
Yep, okay. 5 armor, battle cry, cast all spells you've played this game. Hey, remember Yogg? You guys remember Yogg? We got Yogg's member berries here. I mean, that's a card. That's a heck of a card. God, I already know that Hunter is really good.
In odd.
With Baku, yeah, odd Hunter's good. Does this mean even Hunter also got to be good? It looks like even Hunter tries to go really late game, but is that good with steady shot? I mean, there's kind of some tempo value there, but none of these cards are particularly like screaming at me that steady shot for 1 mana makes all this work. It doesn't.
So you think it's bad?
I'm thinking.
Okay.
I don't get Unleash the Hounds, and that card is busted. So I'm gonna say no love for Even Hunter. Nope, none.
So Even Hunter, kind of like Druid, was the same thing, where it's like, oh, like what's the point of using the hero power? Even Hunter was actually played. I wouldn't call it nearly as good as Odd Hunter. Odd Hunter was severely better just because you could go more aggressive. Like odd cost cards were better to be aggressive with. The good thing about Even Hunter is that it's really easy to curve in that 2 damage every single time, right? Because turn 1, you can hero power. Turn 2, you just play your minion. Then turn 3, it's 2 drop plus your hero power. Then all of a sudden it starts to add up. And that was kind of the general game plan. If that started to teeter off, that's where like Deathstalker or Rexar came in, or Zul'jin came in, because you get a ton of value that hopefully will close out the game. I'm not calling it a bad deck. I wouldn't call it like tier 1 though. Okay, Mage.
Oh, come on, Mage. Come on. Surely 1 damage for 1 mana is good, right? Surely. Blizzard. Deal 2 damage to all enemy minions and freeze them. Let's go. Primordial Glyph is 2 mana. Discover a spell. Reduce its cost by 2. Okay. Very cool. It is. Like, I don't know what you want from me. I get excited to discover and play things cheaper.
No, I'd agree.
6 mana, 15 damage. Meteor. 15 damage to a minion. Do you think that's enough? And 4 damage to adjacent ones. That's pretty cool. I mean, sometimes we'll need to deal 1 more damage to it, probably, but it'll probably get a job done.
The reason why it's 15, by the way, is because the highest attack or the highest health minion in the game is 14, and it's a dinosaur. So to make the meteor story work, to kill all the dinosaurs, it has to be 15.
Amazing, yes. All right, Raven Familiar is 2 mana for a 2/2 beast. Battlecry, reveal a spell in each deck. If yours costs more, draw it. Ooh, like that. Arcane Keysmith is 4 mana for a 2/2 Battlecry. Discover a secret, put it onto the battlefield. I think I remember this being good. We are now secret gaming. We are now freeze gaming. We are killing lots of stuff. Is this good? I like it better than the other mage, I think. Although oddly, the other mage had see what I did there? The other mage had more board wipes, which seems pretty relevant. More AoE clears, as they are called. And it had the black cat. Is getting Fire Blast for 1 mana that much of a big deal, especially compared to other hero powers? I feel like this is going to be very unbalanced by the hero powers that are inherently better or tie better into the deck's overall synergy.
Okay.
And I'm not sure I see it here.
Okay.
I'm going to say Mage. Am I going to say you just don't Genn or Baku Mage? Maybe I am. Nah. I think if you're going to do it, you're going to Baku. I think you're going to Baku. I love Black Cat too much. So,
okay.
Nope, I'm not going with this one.
You're going even as bad.
Yep. I'm sticking with odd.
Even was pretty bad. Pretty much like you said. Is it really worth building a deck for a 1-cost hero power that does 1 damage? Meh, you can do better. Mage for the record was playing like big spell mage if you weren't going for the Baku package. So there was not really a reason to have this. Or you're playing Quest Mage, which was arguably just the best mage deck to play. All right, this one I can't wait to hear your opinion on.
Reinforce. Oh, yeah. 1 mana for a 1/1. Yep. Okay. And you get Prismatic Lens. 4 mana, draw a minion and a spell from your deck, swap their costs. I'm trying to think of like how to break it, and I'm kind of like that's a crafty card. Bellringer Sentry, 4 mana for a 3/4 Battlecry and Death Rattle. Put a secret from your deck into the battlefield. Okay. We're secret gaming. Call to Arms is 4 mana to recruit 3 minions that cost 2 or less. Ooh. Oh yeah, I remember this card. You showed me this card.
Okay.
It's a good card. I remember this card being good.
Good card.
Yep.
Good card.
Yep. Okay, Sunkeeper Tayrel is 6 mana for a 3/7 taunt. Battlecry, set all other minions attack and health to 3. All other?
All other.
Bro.
Good card.
Bro, you hit that off the lens, bro.
Good card.
Bro. Oh my god. Okay. True Silver Champion, 4 mana, 4/2 weapon. Whenever your hero attacks, restore 3 health to it. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
It was 2 health during this time, but again, I was too lazy to pull the actual.
Oh, okay. 2 health. Got it. All right.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, if all I can think is if the Sunkeeper Tayrel was like an odd cost, that game would just be destroyed.
Yeah, it would be really bad, but luckily he was even.
Okay. This is so interesting.
So from what I've shown you, do you think it was worth going even for this?
Well, you've got 2 cards that might be broken. The Tayrel seems busted and Call to Arms is insane. You've got 2 insane cards.
Yep, I would agree with that.
This is actually really tough because I can see how, like, the other one, I think the upgrade hero power is a lot better, like more so than most of the hero powers.
Okay.
This for 1 that's good, but it's not nearly as, like, you're not gonna probably win most of your games if you spend 1 for a 1/1 every time. I can see how you do well, but like, it's not gonna win you games on its own. But I think if you're cranking out 2 for 2 as often as possible, then you're really only a card or 2 away from breaking it. You know what I mean? Whereas having an extra 1/1 is awesome with the Sunkeeper, but I don't know. All this needs are decent 2 or less minions or other ways that flood the board, like another way to get like 2 or 3 creatures. Call to Arms is one of them. It's like, if you have a few more ways to keep that board full, then Tayrel will do your job. And the Prismatic Lens I can definitely see. Like, if you run a bunch of 2 or less, because you have to, right? Because you're running Call to Arms. Recruits from your deck, is that right?
Yeah, it's from your deck, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you have to run them because of Call to Arms. So you're looking to play like Prismatic Lens and swap like a cheap minion with like your True Silver Champion or another Prismatic Lens. That's pretty good. But if you swap the Sunkeeper Tayrel with a cheap spell, oh my god. Oh my god. That I have to say, why not both? I have to say both.
Why not both? Okay, so you're going with this was also just really good.
Yes.
CGB, dare I say this was the best deck out of all of them? Dare I say?
Oh my god.
The thing is,
sure.
The thing is, here's the funniest part. Prismatic Lens was not played in this.
Okay.
Bellringer Sentry,
a card that didn't even get played.
Bellringer Sentry was also not played because the secrets cost 1 in Paladin, so there's no point to run it.
I am not surprised. You literally tried to throw me off with unplayable cards.
So you're coming down to True Silver Champion was played in the deck. It was a good card, especially during this time. Call to Arms. I don't know what they thought was gonna happen. Very, very, very broken card. Very broken card. 4 mana to summon 6 minions of stat that you put in your deck specifically is disgusting. And the card was so good that it basically made even Paladin like the best deck in the game during its small time before it was nerfed. We'll get to Tayrel in a second. Do you know what they nerfed Call to Arms to, CGV? They nerfed it
5 mana?
They nerfed it to 5 mana. You know where Call to Arms went after this card was nerfed? To Odd Paladin. So there was no escaping Call to Arms. Very, very, very good card. I can't.
I'm sorry. that didn't occur to me until, oh God, nerfed, unquote. Yeah.
So yeah, they were, people were like, oh my God, this card needs to be nerfed. It's too good. Yeah, it did not. It arguably didn't even impact the game in any way because it just went directly to Odd Paladin. It was really, really good.
Dude, no wonder they rotated them early. It removed their ability. It broke their brains on how to nerf things.
Well, we're going to discuss that at the end of this. That's a very good point. Though I'm gonna be curious to hear your perspective. Sunkeeper Tayrel was oh my God, another disgusting card. Very like the use cases for Sunkeeper Tayrel were absolutely incredible. You have a board that you want to buff up, Tayrel. Your opponent has 2 big minions that you have 2 shitters that you can now trade into. You Sunkeeper Tayrel. The card was fucking disgusting. One of the best cards they've ever released for Paladin, but not as good as Call to Arms. And by building the deck, yeah, summoning a 1/1 every single turn for 1 mana wasn't great, but over the course of the game kind of became a huge problem. Also, I didn't show you these, but there's a lot of buffs in Even. And there's a lot of ways to utilize minions on board with Even. So it actually ended up being like the perfect storm of a deck. And because Call to Arms was so good, it just made it so much stronger. They obviously nerfed Call to Arms, and Even Paladin became somewhat worse, but it was still playable if you wanted to. You can make the debate of after the nerf to Call to Arms, what was better, Odd to Even. But I think most people would agree with me that this was probably the best deck that came out of Genn and Baku throughout the entire year until Call to Arms was nerfed. Very, very disgusting. Very, very disgusting deck. And that's why I showed you 2 cards that were irrelevant.
I love that. I love that you just showed me 2 lemons just to see if that would get me.
I was hoping like people are gonna see it and go like, what the fuck is he doing? I think that's really funny. But yeah, let's move on to Priest.
Lesser heal. Yep. 2 health. Yep. 1 mana for 2 health. Got it. Shadow Word Pain. 2 mana, destroy a minion with 3 or less attack. Fun. Good card. It's called Smother in Magic the Gathering. Shadow Visions is 2 mana. Discover a copy of a spell in your deck. Okay. Shadow Reaper Anduin is a hero. 8 mana, 5 durability, I guess.
5 armor.
5 armor. Battlecry, destroy all minions with 5 or more attack.
And then your hero power, like I said before, becomes 2 damage. 2 damage to anything for 2 mana. Whenever you play another card, it refreshes.
Oh. Okay. Maybe. Whenever you play another card, refresh the hero power. You still have to pay the mana though, right?
You still have to pay the mana. Yeah, it's still 2 mana. I will say
1 mana, right?
Well, okay, so you bring up a point here. This is what I'm going to tell you at the start. That I'm glad you asked this up. So first and foremost, the reason why Anduin was so good when I showed you it last time with the Death Knight ones is because it was paired with Raza. Raza was a card that rotated before or as this expansion came in, which said if your deck contains no duplicates, your hero power costs 0 for the rest of the game. Which meant when you play Anduin, your hero power is 0, which means you could just machine gun people down after Anduin is played. Here's the thing about Genn. Your base hero power cost 1. When you play Anduin, unfortunately, it goes back to 2.
Alrighty then. Spirit Lash is... I'm already like off it, but we'll keep trying. Spirit Lash is 2 mana, lifesteal, deal 1 to all minions. Okay, yep, and gain some life. Seems good. Duskbreaker, very cool looking dragon thingy. 4 mana, 3/3. If you're holding a dragon, deal 3 damage to all other minions. Cool, we got dragon synergy. It's the only dragon I see, but that's great.
That's great.
1 mana, restore 2 health. And I'm looking around the class and I see nice, just kind of removal stuff. Spirit Lash is probably great against those Unleashed Hounds, assuming that you ever built a board. Probably good against those recruits until they buff them, and then you cry and just cry in the corner, sadly. It's just terrible. I bet they can play around Spirit Lash too. I bet they do. I bet that's what happened. 3 damage to all other minions is nice for Duskbreaker. That's probably important, but you do have to have a dragon, so there's a fail case. And then you're showing me Shadow Reaper just because it's a board wipe. So yeah, we're just controlling the board and seeing how it goes. Do we want this?
Oh, also, I'm going to mention something, by the way, because I forgot to mention it. If you go all the way back up to Odd Paladin, there's a card called Level Up, which was 5 mana that says give your Silverhand recruits +2/+2 in taunt. They nerfed that card, and it came 6 mana. So when that card was nerfed, it went back all to the Paladin. I feel like I should mention that, sorry. All right, sorry, go back to priest.
Amazing. David, try to keep our boy from getting roasted by the comments. He's very sensitive. He really takes it to heart. He stays awake at night mad he didn't mention those things.
I was going through what was played at like the tournament before all these rotated, and I was like, oh, even Paladins played quite a bit. And then I was like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Quick note for you guys in comments. I'm putting on my mean guy glasses for this too. Guys, you don't have to tell him 400 times. Like 3 is probably enough. Just so you know, you can like somebody else's comment. You don't get brownie points or anything. Nobody is keeping a scorecard for you on how many right comments you have.
Rage bait the people. David, cut this for the video. Rage bait the people. Just cut that to like CGB saying something horrific so people comment on it. Comment.
I'm doing what I can for you. I'm not.
Did you say that Paladin players don't deserve rights? What the hell?
What? Maybe. Maybe. Lesser heal. I'm just trying to focus.
That's fine. You could listen. You could be honest with yourself. Do you think lesser heal is worth playing at 1 mana for these cards, or just in general?
No, I think this is shit.
You're correct. Horrible.
Okay.
Don't even bother. Okay. Priest was like, don't get it twisted as well, because I just kind of showed you that Priest wasn't really played for either of them, but it was very good. They had Shadow Reaper Anduin's a good card. There's a card called Lyra, which is, I'm not even gonna go through the semantics here. You just combo your opponent down. Like you could do a lot of disgusting things with it. Priest is playable, just not for any one of these cards for some reason. Okay. Rogue.
So now we're roguing for 1 mana. We're equipping a dagger for 1. Interesting.
Yes. With a 1/2 reminder.
Yep.
Which is maybe relevant. I don't know. I'll show you some of these good cards.
Elven Minstrel is 4 mana for a 3/3 with combo. Draw 2 minions from your deck. Seems like a good combo. Veldori Strider is 4 mana for a 4/4. Shuffle 3 ambushes into your deck. When drawn, summon a 4/4 spider. Okay. Sick, I guess. Spirit of the Shark is 4 mana for an 0/3. Stealth for 1 turn. Your minions' battle cries and combos triggered twice. There's a lot of 4 drops here, my friend.
They're good.
Let's see. Stealth for 1 turn. So it probably lives. Your minions' battle cries and combos trigger twice. So that goes into 5 mana, where if you play something for 1, does using your hero power count for combo?
No. You have to play a card.
You need something else. Okay. But then all you need is something that costs 1 or less, and you're like, draw 2 minions twice, or you're like, shuffle 3 ambushes into your deck twice, and now all the time you're drawing you're getting free spiders. What's an ambush? Does it have stats? Do you cast it?
It's just a spell that's added to your deck, and then when you draw it, you summon the 4/4, and then you draw another card.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I should have clarified what that was. That's my bad.
Great. Preparation is busted. We remember this.
I think at this point too is discounting by 3, but hold on, let me double check while you continue going.
The next spell you cast this turn costs 2 less. Oh my gosh. But minions aren't spells.
These are spells.
Shadow Step, return a friendly minion. Yep.
It was still 3 less during this year.
Oh my gosh. That's great. That's great. So yeah, we're shadow stepping, which can get us more minions and ambushes. Ambushes are spells, but like you discard it, it basically disappears immediately, and you draw a different card anyway.
Yeah, just imagine like as you draw your card, right? There's like a little thing that pops up and goes like, oh, you got an ambush. So you summon a 4/4 on your side, and then you draw another card. Like
yeah, there was something like that in the Rumble that I remember. Yeah. I hated everything about it. Yes. I mean, Spirit of the Shark is a banger. Like people love that stuff.
It was a very popular card.
Preparation and Shadow Step are not bad. I don't see the combo.
Bad.
Yeah, maybe that's a little bit of an understatement. I don't see the dagger. Like I don't have synergy here with my dagger, but I do feel like there's so much in Rogue that does work with that type of shenanigan that doing it for 1 mana is probably inherently crazy. It seems like it's very good for the archetype.
Okay.
Okay, are you doing the thing again where you showed me? It's possible you might be showing me like some Disneyland stuff with your shark and being like,
no, I only did for Paladin because Call to Arms and Terran were so good. I only did for Paladin. Call to Arms is worth like 8 cards, so like I didn't really. I think if I showed you only Call to Arms, you probably still would have said it was a disgusting deck. So that's why like all those other random ass cards were there. Just for those though. Just for those.
I can't. Well, I feel similarly about Preparation and Shadow Step. Like these cards feel like they've just been busted at various times in history.
There is not a single time. There's not a single time where they were not the greatest cards in Rogue. So you could maybe take that out of the equation here because it doesn't matter what Rogue deck you're playing unless you're playing Odd Rogue. Like these cards are disgusting.
But Odd Rogue was good enough. That's kind of crazy.
Yep.
So I'm going to do it again. I'm going to say, why not both? I'm going to go with both decks got a good amount of play and did well.
Yeah, this one was horrible. There's no reason. There was no reason to play it because the thing with Rogue.
Hey,
what's up?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So Rogue was basically playing 2 different things throughout this entire year. You had the Odd Rogue, which was great. I think what really makes the difference between 1 cost and getting in 1 extra damage is that you actually fight for the board pretty aggressively with the 2 damage. Where 1, it's like maybe turn 1, it's good enough, but then you're getting rid of a lot of the really good aggressive cards in Rogue. Like you're basically getting rid of a lot for almost not enough. Where Odd Rogue, you're only just kind of amplifying what Rogue wanted to do anyways. The other Rogue deck that you wanted to play was Quest Rogue, which was like making all your minions 4/4s, I think at this point it was, which was really good on its own. So like even Rogue just never really had footing for it to be played. It was just kind of bad. But don't discount Prep and Shadow Step. They were both disgusting. And
I think I got you baited by those two.
I feel like I have to put those guys in because they like I mean regardless of how you want to look at it, like they were going to be played in that deck because of how good they are. So
no, fair game. Fair to do. Mm-hmm. Oh, goody. Shamans. Let's go. Okay. Random totem. Let's go. And then we can have Totemic Might, which is 0 to give your totems a +2 health. Primal Fin Totem is 2 mana for an 0/3 totem. At the end of your turn, summon a Murloc. Oh, a little Murloc factory. Let's go. Agatha the Witch is the 8 mana, 5 armor hero. Battlecry, 3 damage, all minions. Interesting to pair that with something that makes Murlocs.
The hero power is a passive hero power that says when you play a minion, add a shaman spell to your hand.
Ooh, value. Love that. Okay. Menacing Nimbus is 2 mana for a 2/3 elemental battlecry. Add a random elemental. Yep. Cheap creatures, value. Love it. And then we have Sea Giant. 10 mana, 8/8. Cost 1 less for each other minion on the battlefield. And how many spots you get? 7?
7. But it counts your opponents as well.
Oh! Oh, okay. Yeah, come at me, Zerg. Let's go. Unleash those motherfucking hounds.
Sky and the Hounds.
Yeah, dude.
I don't blame you.
Like you hardcore, you just totem all the time and the opponent plays their stuff and you Sea Giant and you have an 8/8. I mean, it's a cheap meatball, but it's still a meatball.
In this time, dropping an 8/8, depending on when you dropped it, turn 4, turn 3, turn 5, was still very relevant. So,
Okay. I mean, I like Totemic Might with the ability. Like, that's kind of cool. But is it great? I mean, I like 1 mana get a thing. It might be a highly relevant thing. I like it better than... Do I like it better than selecting? Like, getting to choose was kind of cool, but nothing seemed to go well with that. I think I do like it better. It's half the price, and when you're high rolling, you're really high rolling. When you're low rolling, you just get something for the mana, but when you're high rolling and get what you need, feels so good. I think I like this better than the other Shaman because I think that half the price on the hero power is relevant in this case. I think that is probably exactly what you need. You need to be making totems for cheaper. So
are you sure?
I'm going to say, am I sure? Let me go look. Oh, wait, you had the Shudderwalk. Never mind. Fuck it. Shudderwalk. Nope. Sea Giant versus Shudderwalk. Not a contest.
So you'd rather, basically what you're saying is you're only playing Shudderwalk. You're not playing anything else.
That sounds like a shaman deck to me.
Okay, so
yes.
In other words, even Shaman was not played.
Yeah, that makes sense. That follows. Yes.
Even Shaman was one of the best decks in the game.
What?
So I purposely did not show you one card, which is this card right here. If you're curious, I left it on the sideline here.
What the? What? Flame Tongue Totem, adjacent minions have +2 attack. Okay.
Shaman was able to actually develop quite a board pretty fast, and it was able to actually compete with a lot of decks in the format. And because of what Shaman was able to do to constantly put out totems, like it was actually kind of threatening. Because Shaman has buffs, Shamans have ways to interact with the board, and it could actually get really overwhelming for a lot of decks in order to handle it. And then the great thing is Hagatha actually gave you like another win condition, because again, if you're just playing a bunch of these cards that are just kind of useless in the late game, all of a sudden you have a huge power of spells coming out. And the great thing is Shaman also had Alakira at 8. It also had elementals that were at 8 that were very good. They just had a very good deck for this, and you were able to get down a Sea Giant very early on. Like I showed Primal Fin Totem. That card on turn 2 was like game winning, just depending on what the matchup was, because maybe they just couldn't answer it. Shaman also had a card called Merc Spark Eel, which if your deck was only even cost cards, it was a 2-mana 2/3 that dealt 2 damage, which was also pretty relevant to the deck itself. In Wild, the reason why I showed you Totemic Might is because even Shaman, I'm not sure if it's still good now, but even Shaman was a very good deck in Wild. For like the totem synergy, because there's a critical mass. Obviously, I'm not considering it here, but I figured it would be interesting to show you. So maybe you want to lean into the totem synergy. But Shaman was great. Very good deck.
But Shuddy. What about Shuddy? What happened to
Shudderwalk
Shuddy?
was still fine.
Shudderwalk
was still fine. Here's the thing about even Shaman. They nerfed Flame Tongue Totem to 3 mana, and the deck got substantially worse. Because that card was great. I'm going to show you Warlock. Okay.
Okay.
You know what Warlock does, right? Here you go. Wow. 1 mana to draw a card and take 2 damage.
Busted.
I'm sure you thought that was really good. Let me show you one card in particular here that I think would actually increase the odds of that. I'm not gonna show you one.
Yep. I remember this card. I remember Mountain Giant. Yep. I'm sorry. Is an 8/8 on turn 4 good? Is that something you just said?
Actually, in this case, it would be turn 3.
Oh yeah, that seems nice. And yeah. Let's go.
Do you think even Warlock was good?
Do I think it was good? Yes, I do. I would. Oh yeah.
Let me show you one more. Let me show you one more card.
Is it good to start with an extra card in your hand? I think it is. Okay. Defile. 2 mana, deal 1 damage to all minions. If they die, cast this again. Okay. Cast this again?
Yeah.
If any die. Okay, so it's just whoosh. 1 thing died. Whoosh. If 1 thing died, you do it again. Whoosh. Yep. Okay, it probably clears the board if the curve is like, you can set it up this way, basically. It's a board clear for 2.
Yep.
Yeah, that seems good. I would play this deck. Yes.
Very good deck, obviously. I don't think I really have to go through it. I think the hero power for this one just speaks in itself. Like 1 mana to draw a card is insane during this era of Hearthstone, and the fact that you could do it every single turn is really good. Warlock also had a lot of ways to synergize just for even cost cards in general. Like a lot of the handlock deck that I showed you before from Classic was like almost playable in this like 1-to-1.
Oh, good. Let's go.
So it was a really good deck. You obviously didn't have Leroy. You didn't have like the Lord Jaraxxus at this time because it was 9, but it did not matter because the amount of tempo you can get out and the amount of like, I can't understand, I should say, how good Defile really was during this era of Hearthstone. One of the things that's really good against is Paladin. Because there's those 1-cost guys, right? So you can see where like Warlock kind of shines a lot during this era. They also had Twilight Drake. It was just like a very good deck, and yeah, it was one of the best ones to be playing for even. We move on to the very last one. Sorry for how lengthy this video has been, but hope you're having fun.
Oh yeah,
here's Warrior.
This is kind of wild. Armor Up is 2 mana and you gain 2 armor, but now it's 1 mana and you gain 2 armor.
Okay, and here are 5 cards that I think are relevant.
2 mana, Battle Rage. Draw a card for each damaged friendly character. Interesting. All right, Blood Razor, 4 mana, 2 and 2. Battle Cry and Death Rattle deal 1 damage to all minions. I have seen this card, I believe. I don't remember if it was 4 when I saw it.
I think I showed it to you, and I think you also played with it like when we did like the lethal puzzles.
Yes, that's it. Woe Cleaver is 8 mana for a 3 durability and 3 attack weapon, and after your hero attacks, recruit a minion. I feel like I saw this and it was cheaper. Is this was
Woe
this
Cleaver?
nerfed?
No, it was always 8 mana.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I still... Oh, I saw this in the mechanic video. Yeah, we rode the recruit train for a while.
You did ride it for a while, yes.
Yes, we did. That's where it came from. Warpath. Echo. Deal 1 damage to all minions. Echo. You just showed me fucking Echo.
Echo is...
you can cast it again. It goes back to your hand and you can cast again this turn.
It stays in your hand until the end of the turn. So you could theoretically on 10 mana cast this 5 times.
Yep. Nice. Well, at least they tried to give people a lot of answers to Paladin for this meta. They tried. An attempt was made.
That's fair.
Militia Commander, 4 mana, 2 and 5 rush, battle cry, gain +3 attack this turn. I'm guessing 4 mana for a 5/5 rush was a new thing.
That card, I will not understate, was a good rush minion. So, but you could see how far this game has come in terms of rush minions. So it didn't take long for this to get power crept.
It is interesting that you have the same class and you had a great control deck, and now you have this class and you have this. It is pretty controlling. Yeah, it is pretty controlling. Actually, a lot of these are all about control as well, but it still feels quite different in a way.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It doesn't play with armor the same way. I think that's the thing that's throwing me off. You're using Shield Slam, and the name is escaping me, but you use your armor to do the board clear. Like
yeah, I showed it to you earlier. I forgot what the fuck it's called.
It definitely feels like we're losing the cards that play with the hero power, and that is probably bad.
Okay, so you're thinking you don't want to pick Even Warrior because it doesn't. You don't need it.
Woe Cleaver is a hell of a card. I remember very much thinking and analyzing that for the other video, and just thinking about the way to basically cheat out recruit of choice. And if there is a card that specifically you can get with Woe Cleaver that wins the game or is so hard to kill, just untouchable, then this is a different deck. And I could see it being a Woe Cleaver deck. But I don't feel like this plays with armor the way that the other deck does. And I think when you're using armor as a resource, getting double for 2 is probably better than getting 2 for 1, which is cheaper, because it's all about how you're maximizing more of it. So I'm going to say that this was the worst. What I'm looking at right now is the worst version of Warrior.
You'd be correct. Even Warrior was not really played. Odd Warrior is just substantially better because it had all the Odd Warrior, especially if you're going to go for like a control deck, was just infinitely better. It had everything you wanted. There was no reason for you to play this. And there's nothing else to really say here. So that is every single deck to the probably the best of my ability to show you like what these decks were doing without just giving it away. Now it comes to the question. I think Genn was better or Baku was better?
Ooh. Oh, the tough questions.
So I'm going to judge this at the end of this. At the end of this year, obviously they had like a tournament. And there's like nerfs and stuff over the years. There's a huge representation of like a lot of decks. Like there's a huge amount of variety in this tournament. But what do you think was more showed, even or odd?
Good question.
You can scroll back up.
I'm looking around. I'm being nosy. At the competitive level, I'm gonna go with Genn. I think that cheaper when combined with the right things and the best shells is better. Just paying less is a good thing.
That is absolutely incredible that you said that. All right, let's go through it, shall we? So there were 16 players in this tournament, and the highest broad deck was Autorogue. That was the most by far. But you're right. In this tournament, Even was more represented by a little bit. Wasn't a huge substantial amount. Even Paladin was the second highest deck at this tournament. That tells you not only was it really good when it first released, but just before they rotated, Even Paladin was also extremely good. You could make the case that Baku is better because Odd Rogue was the most popular deck, whatever. But both of them made a huge impact on the format. And obviously, like I said to you at the beginning of this, both of them have to be rotated early. Now that you've seen it, why do you think that was?
Because people got really annoyed with having to optimize for it at all times.
Do you think the nerfing thing was also a big thing? I didn't actually really consider how they can't really do anything.
Yeah, I'm sure it also broke their brains to think that they might have to think about how to adjust cards without just moving the cost up and down. I'm sure that was a big part of it.
That could have been, that's funny. You want to hear my reason for it? I think this is probably like the bigger one.
Okay.
How do you nerf Genn and Baku?
How do you nerf Genn and Baku?
You can't nerf the mana costs because you have to keep it odd or even. Stats are irrelevant on it because you're not playing it for the card. So you'd have to just change the effect, but how do you change the effect without just completely breaking the deck to begin with? So rather than nerfing the individual cards, and I think for the best, I would argue that this is maybe like one of the biggest fall offs Hearthstone has ever seen, because people were really tired of this year. Like, it was exhausting going against the exact same thing over and over again, especially Paladin, man. Paladin was everywhere. So they did the really correct decision of taking away the two most, not boring per se, because they were interesting when they first came out, but definitely overstayed their welcome and was seen way too much, and made a really good call to make maybe one of the best years of Hearthstone that we have ever seen the year after. But I think
Bravo.
it's big. I think it's they probably couldn't have done it because how do you nerf the cards? What do you do?
That's a good point. I have no idea. If they were 1/1s, I don't think it would matter very much.
It wouldn't have mattered either. Yeah, they could have been 0/0s. It wouldn't have mattered. So yeah. Anyways,
wow, that's crazy.
That's Genn and Baku. I hope you enjoyed.
You had me really nervous that I had said something really stupid by your reaction. I thought you were going to be like, "What the hell?"
I'm shocked.
Genn got no play at all. It's like, wow.
Most people would see the upgraded stuff and feel like that would be immediately better. But I think the one cost hero power was really, really good. But again, Odd Rogue was phenomenal. So it's they're both good, and I'm glad they rotated it.
I'm gonna run and get a drink. I was trying to get through without it, but I'm gonna need it.
Go for it for sure. I wonder what drink he's gonna get. Let me guess. I think it's like a Mountain Dew something. Mountain Dew something. I'm not sure what Mountain Dew, but probably something. He likes the Mountain Dews. There's a funny story at BlizzCon, which there was like a Mountain Dew booth, and there was like a huge lineup, and somehow he skipped the entire line to grab it. It was very impressive. I don't know how he did it. I wasn't gonna stop him. I was shocked, but impressed, to say the least. All right, I took a guess on what drink you grabbed. Some kind of Mountain Dew.
Wrong.
Fuck. What'd you get?
I mean, maybe you're right. This is Gummy Shark G Fuel.
Oh,